broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys!
Nope.
There it is. Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV's Grimm After Show. I'm so excited, you guys. Thank you for joining us for this double date. We're going on a double date today, guys. That's also the name of the episode. Guys, I'm your host, Zach Wilson. I'm obviously too excited to talk about this. We're talking about 415. If you haven't done so already, make sure you go on to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, where you can subscribe to this and all of the other shows here at AfterBuzz. Over 100 shows are being produced a week. You guys, a week. You can get them all for free at that YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, so many ways. Make sure to leave a comment, leave a review. But let's talk about this episode. You guys can tweet at me during the episode while we're talking about it at that Zach Wilson. You can also tweet at my lovely panel, who is all here. Yeah. Tauri Miller.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at Tauri J. It's TaurijAY.
Yael here, and you can tweet at me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Also, I'm in the chat room on YouTube, so you can talk to us there.
And I'm Dillon Chance. You can find me on Twitter at Dillon Chance, and I'll watch Yael's comment.
Dillon's back, you guys.
Sorry, I was working man for a while.
But yeah, so this, the quote from this week, as we always start off, one could have called that shape a woman or a boy, for it seemed neither, and seemed both. That just sounds like a bad night out. Like you woke up the next morning, or a bad morning, I guess.
Well, you don't know.
If you're into that.
Yeah, don't
true.
judge.
I mean, seemed neither or both. I mean, it sounds like a very confusing night.
What are you trying to say, Zach?
He's saying that as of the moment, it's not legal in Indiana.
That's true.
Bazing! Moving on from that topic. Right?
Let's
But so, obviously, that quote plays directly to the idea of this Vessin who can morph between being a man and being a woman. Mm-hmm. The ultimate split personality.
I did not expect that it was going to be a multiple personalities thing. I thought it was just one who morphed back and forth and played,
both sides.
Yeah, it was just the same person, but it's actually it's two different personalities, and that makes it a little crazier.
I really liked this Vessin. I really like the idea of it, and I like the way that this Vessin kills or defends itself. I feel like it's so creative, and I don't think we've seen anything like it.
The acid.
Yeah. I love it.
It's different. I'll give them that. If nothing else, it's a very different Vessin.
Yeah.
Some kind of acid slime all over its body.
What was it? It's necrotitis fasciitis.
That was just the case.
I was being facetious. I was being cute.
But I thought it was. We go back and forth on the whole Vessin of the Week plotline, because at this point, the show, the serialized plot lines are so interesting. I want that for 45 minutes every week.
Yeah, it's weird that they put the Juliet storyline, which we've been building to, on the back burner this episode, and the Adeline storyline was a scene, and last week it was also just a scene, and they finally put the story of the week as the main story again. Back to where we started.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's a bad story. Like we said, I think most weeks is it's a cool story. It's a cool Vessin. In this case, I think it was relevant to everything else that's going on. The idea of, because as Juliet puts it at one point, I can't go home until I figure out what I am. So in that sense, it is very much playing. It is playing a similar theme between the two. But my only flaw with that is they didn't call it out. They didn't. No characters made that connection.
Yeah.
And so it sort of is lost on the larger audience. How did you guys feel about? About the Vesson of the week.
I'm fine with it. I feel like they do this we get a bunch of like, main story stuff for a while, and then every now and then they hit us with a Vesson of the week and push that on the back burner. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, the story has been really dramatic and really, like, heart-wrenching, and then now we get a little bit of a reprieve. And so, like, Nick is getting a break from Juliet as we're getting a break from that story.
Yeah.
So, like,
we'll come back
I
to
was
it.
fine with that.
I want that story.
Why are we there?
Let it build, We have a bunch of episodes left.
Yeah, I mean it's the tough part of having a 22 episode season. Whereas on more cable shows like on AMC or on USA, you generally have or rather not USA, bad example, but like HBO, let's say, or AMC,
Well,
you have a
USA
10 to
does the
12
short
episode.
seasons.
On some shows,
Yeah.
But AMC specifically, they limit their seasons to 10 to 12 episodes, maybe 13. And that means that the shows can truly be serialized because there's not much time. But when you get over 20 episodes in a season and you have to sort of like play out your storylines over all that time, having Vesson of the Week makes sense.
Well, also, I think it depends on the Vesson, too. This Vesson seems a little more complicated. You gotta build it up a little bit more and explain it a little bit more, so it takes more of the show, right?
You thought the Luntalaji Muami was complicated?
Wasn't easy.
That was awful.
Yeah.
And even Hank does better.
Yeah, Hank was hold on, pronounced that right.
I mean, that's one of the hardest ones
Sure.
in a while.
I mean, you know what I really enjoyed was that when they got to fighting this Vesson, there was a discussion about.
You mean talking at it?
No.
Very aggressively?
No.
How to defeat it.
When they were discussing it, they had this great discussion where, Monroe points out, like, we're kind of doing something immoral here. Let's discuss this topic about making this Vesson not choose, but forced into a gender.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? This show is taking a very serious discussion and topic, and I'm so excited. I loved everything about this episode.
But they do it anyway, though. So I feel like that kind
But at
of
least
like...
they talked about it, and they didn't just
Right.
ignore that this was a thing they were doing.
But I feel like that, especially calling it out, made it even more tragic when the guy lost it at the end. Because then it's like, well, now we've essentially ripped away a piece of him
Yeah.
by forcing him into that.
I mean, it's the interesting.
But is that going to be permanent?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like his body will work it out eventually.
Well, I mean, that's the It's the.
And then that's going to be real crazy in prison.
It's going to be really. It's a really interesting plot line to bring up, like the idea not just of split personalities. We've seen that plenty on television.
Right.
Oh, somebody's psychotic and they have two different personalities. But this is also playing in transgender issues as well. Like not just like you have a dual identity because of like schizophrenia, but like you have a dual identity because you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You like just like Juliet is going through at the same time is like there are two sides of you, two pieces of who you are. How do you make those two things one?
Yeah.
And how do you continue as a single person?
I mean, I feel like they shot it up with the hormones, right?
Yeah.
That was the solution.
Yeah, they
wears off.
They
right?
shot. Yeah, they put testosterone. They had to get testosterone into her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was all I heard.
It's going through your mind, Zach.
Exactly what that sounds like.
Steroid shots.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, no, that's not.
That's what went through my
I was
mind.
way dirtier.
Yeah. Pervert.
If Yael is saying I'm too dirty, I think I crossed the line.
You didn't cross any line.
But the idea is that they have to make a choice because look, as much as you can debate the the issues of like, is this the right thing to do? Is this okay? This person is a murderer now.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that like they had to. This was kind of a punishment. You know, at first you were just conning people, and then you killed someone. So like you brought this upon yourself.
Yeah,
kind of.
Right.
You know what I was just thinking about?
Yeah.
Nick having to go to a prison and just being surrounded by like all these messed up vests in prison. That'd be awesome. I want to see that.
Take note
And he's
for
just
next
like
season.
walking down the prison, and they're coming up to the cages. He's a Grimm, and they all know. That'd be crazy.
Did you like watch Guardians of the Galaxy recently? Or?
No, I just was thinking about that because I talked about him being in prison. That's where my mind goes.
Yeah, I love it.
But so, yeah, they have to. I think they just have to make a choice, and the fact is, you have to put him into. You have to put this creature into the male version because that's the original human identity.
No,
It's the one that they had
Isn't it?
Yeah, they had
record
the
of.
evidence.
Yeah. It's the one that would go to jail because it has a record.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, I guess at some point, at one point in this Vessen's life, either it decided or it was born as Linus, because that's the one that had a record, had a driver's license, had.
I think you're mixing up having like a record of being a person and has like a criminal record.
Right.
That's what they're referring to.
Because at the end he mentions that they've been together since birth, so it's always been two different personalities. I think that since the fingerprints are like always the same, I imagine, then the time that he was caught, because they never catch the female, he was fingerprinted as Linus, so that'll always be Linus.
Well, I kind of took it she was in no system either, but I just thought that it could have been something easily like explained where the guy he always switches to guy mode to go file. I get my driver's license. I'm a dude.
That's what I thought it meant.
Yeah,
but maybe I guess maybe I misunderstood.
But still born like neutral,
right?
And just could do both.
But why would you get your driver's license as a man? Your insurance is way more expensive. It's insane.
Is it?
Yeah.
Car insurance, yeah.
Comparatively, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Maybe he never thought about that.
But yes, I mean they eventually they have to make the call, and the only way to legally arrest this person. But it's a fair point that you guys brought up. Testosterone does need to be injected regularly.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. It's going to wear off.
I think it's going to wear off.
But maybe it was something about being in his pure Vessen form and so much of it, because they put a ton of it in those huge arrows.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe it would mess up his imbalance.
Well, Ryan
Who knows?
Orlando says that I think they killed the woman. I think we all disagree.
What, she's dead inside?
That she's not there anymore. That Stacy's not there. But somebody else whose name is MRGOKUR.
Mr. Goku Jr. Come on. Yeah.
Whatever. I wonder if the female version ever felt a phantom D.
Oh my gosh.
That's a fair
that's where we're
question.
going.
I think that's a fair question.
I don't think there are ghosts in this show.
There was.
Did Linus ever feel phantom boobs? Like,
I mean, maybe phantom limb syndrome is a legit thing.
I feel like it doesn't count when your like whole body morphs,
Yeah.
because it feels like it's morphing their brain too.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be sending the signals to something that's not there.
Right.
because
exactly. That's the difference.
Those signals come from something the brain
we
used to
answered
send
that
signals
question.
for.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, guys, we're here to
know.
discuss what you want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so any other thoughts on the Vessen of the Week? It was very interesting, very like subtly political plot line.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Not just because of whatever dirty reasons you all think I liked it, but I really liked I liked the idea. I liked that we brought this up. I liked that it was something very different, very outside of the box. I don't know what this is based on, but I think that's somebody went and found something crazy and was like, this is something
changeling.
Well, yeah. I think they were just like, this is a cool worm, because some worms are asexual. Let's make that into a thing.
Yeah.
I think that Vessen should mate with an Oswong and
become the most terrifying thing in the world.
Yeah, that sounds like nightmares.
Like an Oswald with acid liquid over it that can morph into both female and male. It's crazy.
But that is a good point. Like, there's a lot of creatures that change their gender in order to adapt to circumstances. That's a legitimate thing. Clownfish, the only one I can think of at the moment, but like can change their gender to fit the needs of
the blue aliens in Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, the toads from Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean the velociraptors?
Well, the toads that the dinosaurs were based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, the Velociraptors.
But yeah, the Velociraptors
Anyway,
too.
not a
Life finds a
constructive
way.
area.
I disagree, but okay.
I do feel the need to mention the like 2 lines that just had me in stitches in here. The bar, it's called Olive or Twist. Get it?
Yeah.
And then Monroe later, prices will scare the dickens out of you.
That was great.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The writers are having
Brilliant.
so much fun.
But yeah, so, and how do you guys feel about Monroe having to flirt? Like,
It was
basically,
so weird.
Yeah.
at Rosalie's suggestion and push, let's be fair.
Yeah.
And then he slipped. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of testosterone for her. She was.
So pretty.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Careful, Monroe. Careful. But speaking of people that have to be careful, Nick and Juliet are on.
What? Not a good segue?
I was looking at you. I thought you would go somewhere with that line.
Go on.
They're in a very tough circumstance, to say the least.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about basically where they are now? They're completely apart. Both of them sort of just trying to figure out what to do next.
Well, I like that Nick he's trying to work it out in his mind. But on the other side, I feel like Juliet is changing as a person. Like, she's becoming a lot more aggressive and kind of mean. Like, when she started the show, she was always like super innocent, super nice. And now, like, even in her interactions with Renard, she's like really attitudey and snappy, and it's weird.
Just that Hexenbeast in her.
Yeah.
It's making her a little mean. I think so.
I mean, no, I agree.
Do you think it's a part of being a Hexenbeast that she's like a little bit got more of an attitude, or is it just that she is scared and
More pissed
like
off.
evoking in front of Nick as much as she did it on purpose? Like, it's gotta hurt when he can't, like, the confirmation of her fear that he can't even stand to look at her.
Which
Right.
I'm sorry. I stand by everything I said last week. She needs to give him time, just as he gave her time when she came to terms with his grimness. They need to. She's.
No, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, in her defense, I feel like, just again relating it to things that I understand.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like where she's at is she doesn't understand what she's becoming, but also like she's looking for answers at the same time, and so the more people can't help her, the more she's just kind of like, well, you're useless to me. I need to figure this out, and so it's causing her to distance herself emotionally until she can understand how to feel about it. And so I think so what we're interpreting as like mean or sassiness, which I'm definitely interpreting it that way, is actually just a more, it's like just her switching into more of a cynical standpoint, because she's not as emotional, it's more just like fact-based.
Very
that.
defensive.
Yeah.
That.
I don't know. I think it's unfair. I just think it's unfair of her, the way she's behaving, and like it's unbelievable that Nick didn't call her, like, don't you remember, like, when we were on the other side, like
Yeah.
when the roles were reversed, and like it was tough, but we got through it.
I just don't feel like she's the kind of person who walks away from this type of thing and doesn't stay and talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
So
I feel like
you're right. So do you think that then implies that this is more than just this is not our Juliet anymore? That Juliet, the Hexenbeast, is a different person.
Could have altered the chemicals in her brain.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't no.
Like, she's effectively a different species now.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I guess kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying earlier, in that, like, it's the same as if she woke up one day and she was a man. It's like, well, how do we go forward in our relationship if I'm a man now? Because you loved me as a woman, but would you still love me as a man? And it's kind of that whole thing. So I feel like she's just now she's roided up in her testosterone-driven man body, and she's just trying to figure out who can love her man body.
It depends on what that man looks like.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
look,
yes.
it's very unpleasant to look at.
Yeah.
I don't judge.
But, like, if she's such a powerful hexen beast, maybe she, like, figures out a spell so that, like, even if she's in throes of passion, she can, like, hide it and stuff.
That throws up passion. You're so funny.
Well, because the thing is, like, 90% of the time, I feel like she just keeps it off. Like, it isn't in vogue state. But I think I guess in my mind the most difficult time for that is like when you're going at it late at night, let's say.
I just want to say
your emotions are at a high point. And
this is like the 15th time
Grossest image in the
that you have discussed her voguing in the throes of passion. I just want to note it on the record that he brings this up a lot, and I do not.
He just wants to know, Yael. He
It's a
needs
fair
answers.
question.
Definitely lights out.
I mean, do we have precedent? Like, in the hundreds of times that we've seen Adelaide have sex, like, has she gone, or has she vogued during that?
It never
No.
makes it that far. Like, you only see them initiating, and then you see them, like, smoking a cigarette after. But
Right.
it's never in between.
Though,
Unfortunately.
yeah. Okay.
So,
my
except for
argument
the
against
one
that.
time that she was Juliet, but then she was
but she was already
polyjuice potion. So
Yeah.
it would also depend, I guess, on how into it you were.
That's true.
Oh
That's
man, that would be an easy way to tell. Dating a Vesson. You didn't vote. What are you trying to say?
I was tired. I just,
Sometimes you gotta fake vote.
Fake vote. I know that fake vote.
Nikki S says, I think it just accentuates Juliet's lack of emotional maturity. We're going way back to what we were initially talking about.
Right.
Well,
Her avoiding it.
So in this episode, what's
Wait.
okay?
There's a question.
All right.
What's his name? What's his name?
That's Mr. Goku Jr.
Okay.
That's our buddy.
Yeah.
He says, I wonder if it gets...
No, why?
I'm not going to ask. Continue. Yeah.
It was a dirty
say it.
comment that didn't need to be read on air.
Disagree.
Oh, and Boo 69Bs, I'm sorry if you're scarred now.
Yeah.
But so from there, Juliet, because she basically ran away from home.
Yeah.
And so she needs a place to stay. I don't think she's ready to admit this to Monroe and Rosalie. Also, I think she gets the sense that they would probably say, "What is wrong with you? Go home and work this out."
I think that she's worried that they'd be scared of her
Right.
I feel like
or treat her differently.
she's got a lot of stuff going on in her brain that's telling her that, that Nick would kill her, or that her friends would hate her, or everyone's afraid of her, whatever. But, like, they would be the first people to try to help solve the problem.
Yeah.
And it angers me that she hasn't yet gone to them.
The only thing I can think is that just as when Nick says, "We'll fix this, we'll find a way to fix this," and she's like, "There's no fixing it. This is who I am now." I think she is just firmly in the belief that this is it. There's no going back, so there's no help to be had except maybe from another hexen beast. So why go into it with them? So I think she doesn't go to Monroe and Rosalie because she doesn't want, like, to be coddled or lectured or told it's going to be okay, which is how you would expect those two to react.
Right.
Fine.
But she does go to Renard,
Yeah.
I love the little exchange there where it's just it's like you're part Hex and Beast. No, why does everybody make that mistake? I am part Zauber Beast.
It's different.
That was I could like hear the writers being like, he's not a Hex and Beast. Fans.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because we have constantly been like, well, he's part Hex and Beast.
Right.
We make that mistake.
Oh, well, this is one of those times where a long way down the line, the writers go, God, okay, fine, here's your answer. Just like, what? How's Nick? How do they know Nick's a Grimm? And then one day they just was like, you didn't ever think to ask that? Like, yeah, no, we all asked that for a long time, just not Nick.
Right.
But so she does go to Renard, and he's dealing with his own problems.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he is.
Which that was a crazy way to open the episode, is Renard getting shot.
Over and over and over again. I was so upset.
And then more of the bleeding. We saw this, I think, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Where but it's even more. It's just like covered in blood.
Yes.
He needs to call his mom, right? I mean, just for one, call your mother. 2, to ask her what's going on.
Yeah. But she's in the wind now, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he has a way to get in touch with her.
I mean, that other lady knows when you write her address on a notebook. You don't think his mom could know that he wants to talk to her?
I don't think she knows. It's just like in Harry Potter, the address is unplottable.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
For 30 seconds. Just
Memorize it. I forgot it.
just write it again, because obviously the other guy had it memorized.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure you were very excited.
That'd be a cool bar trick. You just write it down, you put it in front of someone, and they go, what?
Yeah, I'm sure you were very excited at every one of Renard's scenes at the top of this episode.
You mean because he was shirtless?
For almost every scene.
Yeah. It was great. Somebody made this amazing meme, I guess, of him at the doctor, and the doctor saying, "You are very buff." And I was like, "Thanks, Dr. Obvious."
Did you see the picture he tweeted of the camera guy that was shooting that scene was also shirtless?
Nope.
Nice.
Twitter.
I guess he did it as a joke, but it was really funny.
Hold on, I'm going to find it.
Oh, well, let's continue.
Continue with the show.
as
I've
we
got
were.
stuff to look at.
But yeah, so I mean, and Renard's he doesn't know what this means, because if you remember, the way he was brought back was that his mother came in,
Pretty funny, right?
placed a double-headed snake from her heart to his heart, and basically transferred life force into him.
Right.
So this is a side effect, right?
I would imagine. It seems like his body is rejecting her life force, and now it's trying to reenact what happened to him.
Well, I feel
Maybe she just turned it from direct damage into damage over time.
Oh, yeah. Like fire damage.
But his wounds aren't opening up. It's literally just blood is somehow appearing.
yeah,
Bleed.
But I want to know. I don't know what's happening
Sorry,
here.
no.
I want to know if she's feeling anything, right? Because she should have something
Interesting.
going on with her as well.
That's what I thought too. If they're linked, is it like a dragon heart?
I would imagine.
Right?
Dragon and the human are connected.
Yeah.
So he
Through their
feels the other
hearts.
pains. Yeah.
They feel each other's pain.
Yeah.
And
It's great.
suffering.
You should watch it. It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Okay.
And if one dies,
And you should watch
They
it as
both
well, audience, because it's a good movie.
What movie?
Dragonheart.
Go back to the 90s and find yourself.
I'm just gonna stare at this
Dragonheart.
picture.
Don't watch the sequel.
I think there's a third one.
Oh, yeah. No, there's not.
No.
But yeah, so I mean, so Renard
Review everything says maybe it signifies that Renard's mom is dying. Because she is
Answer.
old.
Yeah, she's way old.
maybe she caught up with Kelly,
She
and
didn't look that
now
old.
they're in a death battle.
Oh. Every night that Renard goes to bed.
My son asleep? All right, time to do battle.
I'm just gonna stab you in the same places.
He got shot.
Where you're weakest.
But that's a good thought, that if they are linked, if they've set it up so that her life force is linked to him, and
Yeah.
that's how he's staying alive, it would make sense that the two can cause harm to come to the other one.
Yeah.
True.
Which means that she has to continue to live forever. and she should move to Portland so he can keep her safe. Oh my God, this
Take care
just
of her
got
when she
so
gets to
good.
home.
Yeah.
The
I feel
Vesson
like he just
home.
made like a spin-off where it's like Renard and his mom hanging out, sharing life force.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terrible sitcom.
I just do they have old people homes for Vesson?
They must.
That's crazy.
I mean, you gotta have like. I mean,
Have we
they
seen like an old little old lady turn into a Vesson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the Oswong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the Chupacabra
I was
lady,
gonna
right?
say,
Yeah.
is that Chupacabra? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we need to see more of that.
Old lady.
In like
Yeah,
a,
I mean,
in a
look,
old community home.
If Vesson have their own fertility doctors, I have to imagine they have their own retirement homes.
Right.
I mean,
I like that.
The reason I feel like a retirement home would make sense is because when you get, let's say, if you have some sort of dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, you
they
might
be
not
voguing all the
realize-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
That could be
this
real
is just what I
dangerous.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fair point.
Where's my dinner?
But so
Yeah.
Renard's trying to fix this situation, obviously, and he needs a book. The book that Adeline, basically that started this whole thing. It's
Right.
like, I guess it's like the Hex and Beast,
Their grimoire.
yeah, grimoire. Thank you.
Book of Shadows.
Yeah,
Yeah, high five.
Thanks.
player manual, if you will. But he has to. But luckily, Juliet's around.
Yeah.
As soon as they're like, only a Hexenbeast's blood can open this book.
And then they were like, maybe you could do it. He's like, that's not right.
I like Juliet calling it out, just like, you want me to bleed on this book for you.
Yeah. That's a fair question.
It's like, yeah, that's how it works. That's the thing. Get used to it, Hexenbeast.
Yeah. It's a fair price to play for a bed, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't
drop
shut
the
it
blood?
again. I mean, I would
Yeah.
tell him that. Don't shut it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave
seriously.
leave it open. Put some kind of bookmark in it or something.
Seriously. God.
But yeah, so from here, he's gonna help her out for now with a place to stay, and she's gonna presumably help him out with whatever spells he might need a Hexenbeast and not a Zauberbeast for.
Yeah.
I like her saying, what you're saying is that I have to wing it.
Yeah. I know. What's the problem?
Yeah, that's called life.
Right?
Juliet.
Right? There are a
They
lot
should
of
have saved
theories
that line
going
for a
on.
bird Vesson.
Seriously. There's a lot of conversation going on in the chat roll about how possibly it's like Once Upon a Time where they're sharing the same heart, which is a spoiler.
You mean like Dragonheart?
Yeah, like Dragonheart.
Jerks. We already
Yeah.
talked about that.
Seriously.
No, Once Upon a Time, they actually have a heart and they cut it in half. Spoiler alert. Anyone who's a season or two behind. And then two people have it. Is that not?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds just like
really
Dragonheart.
familiar.
I'm with you guys. I don't know what the F they're talking about. Yeah,
Anyway,
guys.
But so we'll see where that storyline goes. But the other really quick scene that we got, but huge
Yeah.
information drops. Adeline and the King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the king.
Okay.
Yeah, in case anyone that watched didn't remember who that was, because we haven't seen him for a while.
We saw
Yeah.
him once, right?
Yeah, I think just one time before.
And
it was a while ago.
Wasn't it with what's his name? With when James Frayne was still alive? Eric?
No, I think it was with.
Was with Victor?
Victor.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was right after Eric. died.
Either way,
It was like he walked in the office, right? And he told him,
Yeah.
He's like, Eric's dead.
keep messing this up.
Yeah. Either way,
Toast.
he always came off as very collected, and he's like the regal king, in the
Yeah.
way that none of the princes are.
Yeah.
This guy seems very regal as he delivers really dickish news. Basically, he's just. Well, let's talk about.
So
before
wait,
this-
yeah,
because I know
before
Yael is
that, but
itching.
they're in Portland, right?
They are in Portland.
Yeah.
So the king just up and flew to Portland. He doesn't chill.
King,
but
man, he got a fleet of private.
no
jets.
one knew. He didn't get. Renard didn't get any word.
He's been busy.
So
Also,
the king
people-
just moves.
Yeah, the people who were supposed to be helping Renard have screwed him over time and time again.
Oh, by the way, the king's here. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
He'll find out next episode.
Yeah.
If then.
If that,
Yeah.
seriously.
And the king just up and comes to this town where this bad A Grimm is walking around.
Well, because
Yeah.
Victor's there.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
just
Can we
seems.
talk
And the
about
show
it?
needs a real
So hold on,
dig
guys.
All right.
the beginning of this scene is really where the insanity happens.
Yeah.
Because Adeline's testing herself to see if she's pregnant for real 3 times. And yep, she's preggers.
Shock. I mean, because
With the Grimm baby. I think we predicted that a long time ago.
I just want to make it clear to people that you need to, when you use a home pregnancy test, you don't do just one. If
Yeah.
you want a confirmed
You don't want a
answer.
false positive.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And then you go to a doctor.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, guys. Just to make sure everyone's
Okay.
aware.
But like she's not ready to go to a doctor. First of all, because she don't know what's in there.
But also, she's got to find a daddy for this baby.
Yeah.
Setting women in media back
need-
50 years.
I need to find you another father. Fast.
Yes.
Man.
I'm so
Terrible.
excited.
She tried that with the first one. She did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
It
did.
didn't work.
But like I get it. I don't think it's setting anyone back. It's because she's not like saying, "Oh, I need to go sleep with you." She's
No, that is exactly what she
But
said.
like
Her reasoning.
the reasoning is that if people were coming after this like royal hex and beast combo baby, like the idea of now a Grimm hex and beast baby with all these insane magical circumstances around it, this baby will be probably just as sought after.
I think also that if she can convince them, let's say that it's Victor's, then they'll keep her alive longer.
Right.
And she, at this point, as soon as they find Diana, she believes they will kill her. Mm-hmm. So if she can convince them that she's pregnant with Victor's baby, then she's now extended her life
A little longer, yeah.
little longer.
That's a good point.
Which is why I think it was so great when she was like, I need to find a daddy. Oh, I got this. Victor. I was like, have you not slept with him yet? I'm confused.
No, they haven't.
not
They
yet.
have not
I
been
know.
together.
I was very disappointed in her. That's not Adeline's MO.
How many super babies is the show going to have?
Army of super babies.
2 to 3.
2 to 3. One more.
Well, actually, no,
One more
2 to
super
4. Because if Nick and Juliet end up having a baby,
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's another Grimm hex and beast baby.
if Rosalie and Monroe end up having a baby,
I don't feel like that's as super.
fair enough.
I feel like that's happened before.
Blue 69B says, Adeline the Hexen Beast, the power to get men into bed with her. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd watch that show.
Henrietta showed us how seductive they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had those Vesson before. The I can do things to make you sleep with me Vesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adeline doesn't even need the powers. She just like
The goat that
makes
uses
it work.
magic frogs.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay. See if I remember that.
So
We got
yeah,
a name
any
drop
other
today.
any other thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, am I the only one who picked up? She's going to sleep with the king, right? That's happening?
No. She's gonna sleep with the new prince man.
Well, she
Yeah.
doesn't know there's a new Prince Man coming.
But she's gonna know very soon.
Spoilers.
Well, it's in the.
Save it
it's
for the
in
prediction
teaser.
wall.
Whatever. What, she's going to sleep. If she's smart, she will sleep with the king.
It's not gonna happen. That old man's not gonna sleep with Adeline.
Why not?
He's too refined.
Yeah, he's too noble. He looks at her and he goes,
No.
Remember he was giving her that whole
He
speech
does.
like,
He does have a thing for hexen beasts, though. Well, let's
Fair
not
enough.
forget that he
That's
is
true.
also Renard's father.
but maybe he learned his.
Jeez, he didn't.
but the-
I
but
think
the-
she's going to try. And then he
Yeah.
also says that someone's going to come watch over her. And there was a whole discussion in the chat roll as to who I think is going to come watch over her. And I'm not even going to say it. Yeah, put your drinks down.
Well, because they showed it in the teaser. It's the new prince dude.
Stop talking about the teaser, Dylan. I will.
That's part of the show.
He's
I will,
teasing
no,
the
it's
teaser.
not. That's a prediction wall thing.
Oh,
so I will
come on.
mute you if you bring it up again. Violating the rules.
Whatever.
But yeah, the king gets real crazy in this.
What do you mean?
He's like, people like the illusion of being in control of their lives, but what they really crave is protection.
Yeah. See, they're going to do it, guys. No? Just
No, I mean he's talking about the world at large. Like basically, he's saying like people need to be completely ruled. They don't actually. They shouldn't actually be in control. Like it's the most kingly thing I've ever heard. When you actually get down to it,
Right.
No election. It's just like I rule you, and I will control you. And basically, he's saying that bring the world into order means taking control of her baby. And that Diana, having royal blood is a big deal.
Yeah.
And it just like more questions as to why exactly that's a big deal.
I mean, I'm going to say something that people are going to disagree with, but we still have zero confirmation medically that baby is Sean's or Eric's. We don't know.
Either way,
it would
it's a
still be a royal baby.
But if it's Renard's, then it's only like a quarter royal.
But I think the idea is that it doesn't matter because they think it's Renard's and it's a big deal.
Right.
So that means it's at least a quarter royal and it's a big deal. If it's half royal, probably even more so.
Whatever, I hope she sleeps.
But so, I mean, the only thing I could think is that maybe you need the royal blood to do something with the keys.
You and your keys.
The keys are gonna be important.
Yes, they're the key to everything.
Shut up.
Yeah, high
Get
five.
out.
No.
High five someone.
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it just that something of that type makes sense to me because what is it that is important here? Like we know that the royals can do like a couple different things with magic, like waking up Juliet, but like we haven't seen what the true powers of a royal are.
Yeah.
They don't have a vogue state. It's nothing like that. We know that that's been confirmed by the writers, but there's something important about them.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Right.
So, any other thoughts on this episode, guys? Because I want to go into a special segment that we have prepared.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So, we have a different iTunes section this time. I want to give a quick shout out to you guys know to go onto iTunes and rate and review. We're at 73 ratings, you guys. I really want to be at 100. We're only 27 away. Only 27 of you guys. Just go onto iTunes and go click the rating. It takes 5 seconds. And hit us with a review as well, and you'll get a shout out. And I want to give a shout out to this week, if I could pull it up.
Yes, seriously. While you do that, I might as well give everyone a Meisner update. Yeah, take a drink. He wasn't there.
Oh,
yeah.
He was there in our hearts.
Yeah.
was there in my heart.
And we will get into predictions after this. But Prodigal358 says, awesome podcast, 5 stars. Loved the episode and your thoughts on it. You guys rock. Not just any rock, but a frozen volcanus rock.
Ooh.
Nice.
Winning. And I have one question for you. Who would win? Buffy versus Nick.
Ooh.
And now, we're going to have a little showdown debate here. Who do you guys think would win? Buffy or Nick?
Okay.
All right.
Dylan.
You goes first. I never watched Buffy, so
Dylan has to
I
abstain.
can't. I gotta listen.
But Yael?
Buffy.
And why?
Buffy is kick ass. Her job is to not only kick ass, but to kick ass and kill, kind of, in a way that Grimm's used to. And Nick is too much of a wuss. Buffy.
He's too much of a new Grimm.
Yeah.
The new school.
Yeah.
That's why I think Buffy.
I'm also on the Buffy train. My why is that, one, she's more trained than Nick. Nick is self-taught, so he makes a lot of rookie mistakes. I mean, he has the advantage of using a gun, but she's used crossbows as well. She's used axes. She's used swords. Also, she has the advantage of super strength. We've seen her bust walls with punches and kicks and things. Nick is still at human strength, so she could probably destroy him. She's also taken a lot more damage, so she's more of a juggernaut than he is.
Nick is not at human strength, though. He is even at just a normal time. He's Grimm strength multiplied by being a unique zombie Grimm.
There's no such thing as Grimm strength. Grimms are only unique because they can see the world beyond the world.
No,
I think they have a little bit
stronger.
Grimms definitely have a higher skill, higher strength.
Yeah, did you see Trouble? I mean, come on, she was rolling in, whipping up everybody. She definitely had some kind of extra strength.
I mean,
there.
also, just to point out, Boo69B says, Buffy, hello, she came back from the dead. I'm going to remind you twice.
How many times has Buffy died? She keeps losing. Nick's just like, I've never died.
Buffy's
I've died
died. Nick has died as well.
Yeah.
Has he ever died?
Yeah.
He was a zombie, but he wasn't technically dead.
We have to die
Die
before
to
Can I
he
speak
becomes
from the
a-
booth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Buffy, all the way.
Well, here's
Thank
the
you,
thing.
Marissa.
Here's the thing, and the reason that I land on the Nick train is not. I think in a one-on-one fight, you guys are right. I think Buffy ends up taking it. Nick's very good with weapons, but Buffy also very good, and I think she takes one. But because what makes both of these characters so strong is not just them, but their teams.
Oh, man.
And I think
Team Buffy will
that
wipe the floor.
I disagree. I think with the team, Nick's got cops and he's got a blute bot and a fook spout.
he's got
and
a
now
blue bot,
he's
a
got,
fook spout, he's got a crazy power hexen beast, and then Buffy has Willow, who's a very, very powerful witch, obviously.
Wait, spoiler. Just kidding.
Well,
But
Tara as well.
But Nick also has Renard with a vast wealth of knowledge. Yes, you have Giles, but I think that at the end of the day, you have these two teams. I think Nick comes out ahead, and I think Spike and Angel would go down real quick because Nick's chest of drawers, he's just like, oh, a vampire. This is easy.
I think team-wise, yeah, I think Nick would win. I think one-on-one, though, Buffy would win. And that said, your question was Buffy or Nick?
But I would say that these two people are defined by their friends.
No. He's a Grimm. She's a vampire slayer. They could have no friends, and that would not change. Boom.
But this is a fair debate, and
Our show just got changed.
Yeah.
Guys, we're doing a new show now.
but this is a fun thing, and I wanted to do it because at the end of this month, I will be starting a new show over on Popcorn Talk Network, one of our sister networks, called Film Character Super Fights, where we will be debating these types of character versus character debates every week.
Awesome.
So look for that towards the end of April.
I think you should end every episode that ends with a tie. Just slap Batman on there. Batman always wins.
But so with that, why don't we go into predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Is that you?
No.
All right, so what are we looking at next week, you guys?
We have apparently Juliet finds Nick's love of her hilarious. We have a new royal in town who is handsome as F. We also have a fight between this new royal and Renard. What else am I missing? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene on Hulu where they're talking about a Vessin that only vote, or you can only like get into a Vogue state if you are sexually attracted to it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about next week.
But you die. Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
But like
Yeah.
in order to bring it out, like there has to be an attraction towards this Vessin.
Right.
Wait, so it doesn't have to be attracted to you. You have to be attracted to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Meisner?
That's why I know. Well, no, because we would have seen that because
Yeah.
obviously Adeline was into that.
That would have been amazing. Sorry. I want that.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Who's going to have to flirt with this one?
It's going to have to be Monroe again.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate candidate.
All right. Well, I mean, my big prediction, I think that with the new baby, Adeline's gonna be like running around, just like trying to get away in order to either like find a new baby daddy to point at, or hopefully get away from the royal so she can keep this one.
Right.
All right. Any last thoughts, guys?
Meh.
I just think it was alluding to the fact that this new prince is here to watch her, and she'll probably try to sleep with him. But I don't know if he'll do it.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
And Juliet's gone forever. She's never coming back to Nick, and that's
What?
going to be a thing. That's my
Wrong.
prediction.
Wrong.
That's my prediction.
Whatever.
Either way, it's going to get tense. I like the prediction in the chat roll that Juliet is going to become the big bad of the rest of the season.
That's crazy, Tom.
I think maybe just for the finale, that could be a really cool way to like build this up, like where she like basically just goes deep down this rabbit hole and loses it at some point against the rest of the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, so the next season will be
episodes ago.
Nice. It's last episode.
All right, on that note, I think we're going to call it a day. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on AfterBuzz for the Grimm After Show. This is our favorite place to be every week. You can join us every week here, 5 p.m. Pacific Coast time on youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, and then later that day on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that.
Yeah.
Dillon Chance, where can people keep up with you? Next week.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Dillon Chance. You can follow me on Instagram, Dillon.Chance. That's where I am.
You can find me online at Yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. Also, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of other places at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And keep an eye out because a giveaway is coming soon.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. And also catch me on the Flash and Arrow panels because they're awesome.
Yep.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, THATZACHWILSON. Whole bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. Tomorrow night, it's going to be a fun night on Better Call Saul. We have Michael Mando, who plays Nacho, coming into the studio. And then on Tuesday, tune in for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Guys, I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.